Before you spend 20 to 40 lakh rupees on your masters in France, I want you to ask yourself just one question. What exactly are you paying for? Is it a degree, a university name, or a career? Because over the last few months, I've received hundreds of messages from students asking me, D, I'm from engineering. Can I do luxury marketing? I'm from humanities. Should I do an MIM? I'm from commerce. Which masters has the best future? And honestly, every time I read these messages, I realize something. Most students are asking the wrong question. The question isn't which masters should I choose. The real question is, how do I make sure I don't waste my parents' money on the wrong one? So today, I'm not going to tell you choose this course. Instead, I'm going to teach you how to choose the right masters for you. Because once you understand that, no consultant, no influencer, no university brochure can fool you. So if that's something you'd find useful, consider subscribing because we still have a lot to cover. Let me tell you the biggest mistake almost every international student makes. And honestly, I almost made it too. People first choose a university, then they choose a master's. And only after coming to France, they start thinking, wait, what kind of job do I even want? That is completely backwards because your master's isn't your dream. It's the bridge between where you are today and where you want to be 5 years from now. So before we even talk about MIM or MSc, I want you to do something. Take a piece of paper and answer this question honestly. 5 years from today, what work do you actually want to do? Do you want to become a marketing manager, a data analyst, a supply chain consultant, a luxury brand manager, or something else? Because once you know your destination, finding the right masters becomes surprisingly easy. But if you don't know where you're going, even the best university in France can't help you. Before choosing a master's, understand the French job market. Not every master's has the same opportunities afterwards. I'm not saying one degree is good and another is bad. Every field has opportunities, but some fields naturally have more demand. Some fields have fewer graduates competing. Some fields require almost no French, while others expect you to communicate with clients every single day. And that completely changes your experience as an international student. So instead of asking which master's is best, ask which master's matches the job market that I want to enter. That one question changes everything. Now, this is based on my own experience and everything I've observed in the last 2 years. Please, don't choose your future based only on this. But if I had to group programs according to internship demand, it would probably look something like this. The fields where I constantly saw students finding internships relatively faster were AI, data analytics, business analytics, supply chain, engineering-related programs, operations, because these industries usually care much more about your technical skills than your level of French. If you can solve problems, analyze data, or build systems, many companies are willing to work with you in English. Now, does that mean marketing students don't get internships? Absolutely not. Many of my own classmates, including me, found internships. But there was one major difference. Marketing, luxury, communications, brand management, public relations almost always involve people. And communication in France happens in French. That's where language suddenly becomes a huge advantage. Not because companies want to reject international students, but because their customers speak French. Now, this is exactly why your bachelor's background isn't actually the most important thing. Your future career is. So let's finally answer the question everyone keeps asking me. And if you're from engineering, this might surprise you. Some of the best marketing students I met were actually engineers. Seriously. When I first joined MBS, I expected everyone to come from business backgrounds. But that wasn't the case at all. I met people who had studied mechanical engineering, civil engineering, computer science, electronics, and today, many of them work in business roles. Because here's the thing, Engineering teaches you something incredibly valuable: problem solving, analytical thinking, logical decision making, and companies love that, especially in consulting, technology, innovation, product management, digital transformation, business analytics, and even luxury. Because luxury today isn't just fashion shows and handbags. Luxury brands have data teams, digital teams, strategy teams. So if you genuinely enjoy business, don't ever think, I'm an engineer, I'm stuck forever. You are not. But if you're already from commerce or business background, your journey looks slightly different because your bachelor's has already introduced you to business fundamentals, marketing, finance, accounting, economics, management, which means most master's program naturally build on what you already know. You'll usually find plenty of options. In fact, this was probably the most common background in my class. But there's one mistake I still see commerce students making. They think my bachelor's was general, so my master's should also be general. Not necessarily. Sometimes specializing actually gives you an advantage. Instead of becoming another general graduate, you become the person who's known for luxury or supply chain or finance or maybe business analytics. And sometimes being more specific actually makes you more employable. Now, this section is especially for all the humanities students watching this video, and also for the girl who's been commenting under every France Roadmap episode asking, I'm from humanities, which masters should I choose? Because I feel like humanities students often underestimate themselves way too much. They think engineers are smarter, business students already know everything, I'm already behind. But no, you're not. You just have a different skill set. And honestly, companies need those skills too. If your background is psychology, English literature, political science, journalism, mass communication, sociology, law, international relations, or anything similar, you already understand something incredibly valuable. People, behavior, communication, storytelling, critical thinking. Do you know how valuable those skills are? Luxury brands literally spend millions trying to understand consumer psychology. Marketing teams spend months understanding the customer behavior. HR teams deal with people every single day. Communication teams shape a company's image. Brand managers tell stories. So please don't think your bachelor's has less value. It simply has a different value. Now, does that mean every humanities student should blindly choose luxury marketing? No. And this is where another mistake happens. People choose a master's because it's trending, because somebody on Instagram said luxury is booming, because France is famous for luxury. But here's the question. Do you even enjoy marketing? Do you actually enjoy understanding customers, creating campaigns, building brands, looking at advertisements and thinking, wow, this is clever? If yes, luxury marketing, brand management, consumer behavior could genuinely suit you. But if not, don't force yourself into it just because everyone else is doing it. Because remember, you'll spend almost 2 years studying it, then probably almost 5 years working in it. So choose something you can actually imagine yourself doing every single day. Now, if you're coming from finance, accounting, economics, or business economics, or any related field, you're actually in a really interesting position because your bachelor's gives you a very strong analytical foundation. You could obviously continue into corporate finance, investment, banking, financial management, risk, but that's not your only option. You can also move into consulting, business analytics, strategy, management, luxury, because luxury companies aren't made only of designers. Behind every luxury brand, there are finance department, planning departments, operations, strategy, supply chain, data. So don't think finance means sitting behind Excel forever. Your career options are much broader than that. If you're from biotechnology, chemistry, mathematics, physics, statistics, environmental sciences, or life sciences, don't panic either. Many French schools now offer programs related to sustainability, innovation, business analytics, healthcare management, data, technology management, environmental management, product development. Again, don't ask, what can my bachelor's become? Ask, what kind of work excites me? Because that's the question that matters. Now, let's answer one question that confuses almost every student: MIM or MSc? So let me simplify it. Imagine this: a Master in Management or MIM is like learning the entire business world: marketing, finance, HR, strategy, operations, leadership, consulting, entrepreneurship, everything. It's broad, flexible. You usually specialize later. Now, an MSc is much more focused. Luxury marketing, business analytics, supply chain, digital marketing, finance, international business. It's specialized. You already know the direction, and now you're going deeper. So, which one is better? Honestly, neither. Because they are built for different people. If you are still exploring, MIM can be amazing. Whereas, if you're already confident, I want luxury or analytics or supply chain, then an MSc can make much more sense. Now, if I could go back to the day I was applying, I wouldn't ask which university is better or which city is prettier. I wouldn't even ask which ranking is higher. I'd ask one question: what kind of life do I want after graduation? Because today, looking back, I realize your master's isn't the destination. It's only the vehicle. If your destination is wrong, the vehicle doesn't matter. So, before you spend 20 to 40 lakh rupees, ask yourself these 5 questions. First, what job do I actually want after graduation? Not what degree looks cool. What job do you actually see yourself doing every single day? Can you imagine yourself working in marketing every day, or working with numbers, or with people, or research? Because your masters should prepare you for that, and not the other way around. Second, does this field actually have opportunities in France? Now, this doesn't mean only choose the highest paying field. Every field has opportunities. But every country is different. Every country has different priorities. France has strong industries in luxury, technology, engineering, hospitality, supply chain, healthcare, even automotive. So ask yourself, will this field actually give me enough opportunities where I want to stay? Because a fantastic degree without enough opportunities can become a very expensive souvenir. Third, am I ready to learn French? Now, this is where many people get uncomfortable. Because everyone wants to hear, oh, don't worry, English is enough. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, no. The truth is, French won't decide whether you get admitted, but it can absolutely influence how many internship opportunities you get, how confident you feel, how many friends you make, how easily you settle into daily life, how many job options open for you. That's why, instead of asking, can I survive without French? Ask, how quickly can I start learning it? Those are 2 completely different questions. 4, can I actually afford this degree? Now, this one is difficult because nobody likes talking about money, but we have to. Studying abroad is expensive, very expensive. Tuition fee, accommodation, food, transport, insurance, visa, flight tickets, emergency expenses, and then unexpected things like changing apartments, medical emergencies. Please don't assume that a part-time job will magically cover everything. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. That's why, before choosing any program, sit down with your family. Calculate everything honestly, not emotionally. Financial stress affects everything. Your studies, your mental health, your internship search, your confidence, everything. And 5th and the last question, why this master's? This might be the most important question. Imagine someone interviews you and asks, so why did you choose this program? If your answer is because France is famous, or because someone recommended it, or because my friends are doing it, that's probably not a strong enough answer. Instead, your answer should sound like, I want to work in luxury. This program offers exactly those modules. The internship structure matches my career goals. The alumni are working in companies where I eventually want to work. That's a story. And honestly, people remember stories. Now, I want to tell you something very personal. After almost 2 years, I've realized something. The hardest part isn't getting into France. It's building a life here. A life that actually makes sense for you. Because everyone's journey looks different. And none of these journeys are wrong. And that's something I wish someone had told me before I came. Sometimes people ask me, Sonia, why do you share all these struggles? Why not only show Paris, cute cafes, luxury shopping, beautiful places? Because that's already everywhere. But if my videos can help even one student avoid one mistake, save 1 year, and save a few €1,000, or simply feel less alone, then every difficult experience I had becomes worth sharing. And honestly, that's why I started this France Roadmap series. Not because I know everything, but because I know how it feels to search for answers and find none. So, if today's video helped you even a little, I have just one request. Comment below, what's your bachelor's background? And which masters are you thinking of pursuing in France? I genuinely read every single comment. And your question might become the next episode of the series. Because now, you've chosen your masters. Amazing. But before you even book your flight, there's one mistake that can cost you thousands of rupees before you even land in France. So next week, I'm showing you exactly what to buy, what not to buy, what I regret packing, what I regret leaving behind, and one airport mistake that I made that I hope none of you ever repeat. Trust me, if you're coming to France this year, you cannot afford to miss that one. So, I'll see you on next Sunday. Until then, bye-bye.